Okay, so we're going to digitally render our one-point perspective bedroom. One of the first things that we want to do is check the mode of our document. So if we go image mode, we can just check here that we're working in CMYK, which is what we want because we're going to be printing this on our laser printer. So we just hit OK. Fantastic. This is a little bit skewed, so I'm going to press Control A first to select the whole document. You also could use the marquee tool to select your document. You then press Control T and you can just manually rotate that just a smidge so that things are looking a bit more straight on. Next I'm going to press C or use the crop tool here on the left and just crop my document so that all the lines are hitting the edge of the document and there's nothing that is floating in midair, because when you use the paint bucket that'll just bleed all over the place. So I'm going to hit enter there. So I've just kind of cropped that in a little bit there. Alright, so now that I've done that, I'm going to show you just how to clean up your document. So I'll just bring that in a little bit more. Okay, so if we go B for brush, we're going to use the pencil tool because it's less fuzzy, it's a harder brush. We're going to come down to the bottom left hand side where these colour swatches are, and we're going to change it to white. Using our left hand on the keyboard, we change the size of the brush using the square brackets that are located near the backspace. So we're just going to touch up a few of those little glitches that are here on the one-point perspective room and just fix up any lines that you might need to touch up. I'm going to just open up my history panel here. If you can't find yours, it's just found under window and then you can go to history, and I'll just go back in time a little bit to get rid of that line that I bumped. Okay, so that's touching up your document. Paint bucket. So if we press G for paint bucket, make sure it's either the gradient tool or the paint bucket that'll pop up. We just hold down our mouse here and we want to select the paint bucket tool. You can begin to choose some colours that you want your room to be in, and you can slowly just drop those in your document. Now, you need to keep in mind light source. So this previous handout that we had a look at, you're thinking about where the light is shining, where it's cast, and how that's going to affect your colours in your room. So whatever's closest to the light will be lighter, and then shadows are cast when objects are further away. That's really important to consider when you're doing things like your bed. So if this was the light coming in here from the right, the top here would be lighter than the side. So let's say you wanted to have like a green panel here. Just make that a little bit darker down there. Okay, that's okay, great. Alright, so pretty much you can paint bucket your different items. If you are wanting to place a texture in, that's a good idea. So I've just copied a texture here, which is some carpet. You can do a few different things with your texture. So pretty much you want to find a large enough image that won't pixelate. You're going to place it over the top of the area that you are wanting to finally put it. So if I press Control T, I'm just going to scale this up a little. Now ideally you don't want to scale it up too much because it will pixelate. We can just place that over the desired area. So with Control T, you can hold down Control and press one of the corners if you're wishing to kind of skew your object to fit the shape that you're after. If I press Enter, that will help us a little bit there. Now, if you're still not happy with how it's fitting the space, you can go back to your background layer. So if I come over to my layers palette here, I'm just going to double click that and call it carpet so I don't get confused with all my layers. If I take the eye off that carpet layer and I select, I'm just going to clean up this little line that's here, whoops, with white. I'm going to select with the magic wand tool this area of carpet here. So if I press W, you can either use the quick selection tool or the magic wand tool, that's fine. So I'm going to select this area. I will then come to my carpet layer. Now if I press delete now, it'll be deleting the wrong area that I'm wanting to delete. So what we're going to do is right click and select the inverse. We then press delete, make sure you're on the carpet layer, and Control D for deselect, and you can see there that you've applied your texture a bit more subtly. You can always change the opacity over here in the corner too if you want to make it a little bit more subtle again, maybe 95%.